So the big question is this: how do investors like us who don't have a PhD in finance or millions to start investing, how do we grow our bank accounts to build real savings and retirements and yet still have the time to do what we really love? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. Hey guys, John Moon here with this podcast. Super excited today. To try and move big and see if it freaking works, and also kind of talk about like why I'm doing it, because it's really interesting. I just kind of had this epiphany that you can try as many habits as you want. But like if you want to start a new habit, like one of the easiest ways to do it is you just make it like ridiculously easy to do. So like when I wanted to start meditating, I didn't start spending like an hour a day meditating. Like that's ridiculous, right? Or maybe an hour a week. Like it's just not effective. So what I would do is I would set just a little bit of time at the beginning and the end of each day. And I would be like, you know what? I'm going to take like a really deep breath, like very consciously. Like I'm going to have this huge deep breath. And so I did that for like a month. And then I just got like used to it. And so like if I didn't take that big deep breath at the beginning at the end of the day, like my whole life it would feel really weird, right? So then it started to get deeper and deeper. And then, that deep breath, what's it escalate to? It escalates to 2 minutes of meditation. It escalates to 5 minutes of meditation. Eventually it's like 10, 15 minutes of meditation. And it's cool because it just becomes a habit, right? You just keep doing it and doing it and doing it. And then it gets to the point if you want to start getting work out a whole bunch, right? Like I love to wake up and work out. Like best thing ever. And so to get to that point where you have something that just keeps happening over and over again. And I'll feel super weird if I don't get up and work out, right? Same thing. I'll feel super weird if I don't meditate twice a day. Why? It's because it's ingrained into my my action processes in my head, right? And I'm just so used to doing it. And those are tough things to do, right? So when you start off a little bit easier, right? You don't start off with an hour every morning, getting swole. If you start off with just a couple of presses or a couple of curls or some basic stuff like that, and then over time you get to a point where you're constantly putting in the time that you need and getting what you want out of the time that you have, which is the coolest thing ever, right? And that's the goal, is to absolutely crush it by getting pretty much exactly what you want out of your time. But it's tough to form this habit, right? And what you do is, and I hope you guys can see this, I'm trying this new thing now, right, where I really want to get going more on social media. This might sound super really bad. I don't know. I'm trying out podcasting with headphones, and I don't have a microphone, because what I want to do is I want to make it easier for me to put stuff out there, right? And so to make it easier, what do? Well, probably one of the easiest things to do is kind of remove that thing. It's you have to have your microphone, you have to be going hard, and just sort of down the commitment goal, right? So instead of having to spend an hour a day doing it, it's just little bit of time. And it's a lot easier to form new habits when you just start off with a little bit of time for each one, which is super powerful. For example, I'm trying to do more stuff on Instagram, because that's where most of my a lot of my ideal audiences are, right? And so I don't know, I never grew up on social media, and I'm pretty I don't know, my friends are helping me figure out how to use Instagram, which is nice. And so all I do is I'll just record this 1 minute video, and I'll spend maybe 1 or 2 or 3 minutes editing it, tops, captions and all that crap, and then just put it out there. And me do a video in the morning. It takes 5 minutes tops. And it's a ridiculously easy thing to do. And you just want to keep doing things over and over again, until they just become a natural habit. And so that's really the exact goal of what I'm trying to do there. And when somebody asks us in my life, if you want to form this new habit, is just make it super easy. So I always do these podcasts on my bike, but I used to have to bike half an hour to get to school. But now it's maybe 8 minutes in between classes and then dorms and all that stuff, since I'm on campus. And so it's this very, much more condensed period of time. So you can still get like a ton of stuff done, but you're like contributing less time to it, which is like super, super, super powerful. Because if you can make it easier to do something, then you'll like get in the habit of doing it. So like, for instance, I'm really, really, really trying to send out like emails every single day, like unique, custom, like really, really valuable content to my clients and future clients and potential client, whatever, right? Like all clients. And what I used to do, what I still kind of do is like I'll have these huge, huge, huge days where I'll just write like 10, 15, 20 emails and I'll send them out for the next 2 weeks. And like it works really well, but the thing is like that's a lot of work in a very condensed period of time, and it's pretty like tough to sustain that. And so what I'm doing right now is like I'm saying, okay, look, I'm going to spend 15 minutes and I'm just going to write this email. And it's not going to be more than 15 minutes. Like that's the thing. You have to give yourself a cutoff. Like even if you're in the role of it, even if you're having like the best time ever, just say, look, you know what? Cut off. Right now it's 9 o'clock. I'm coming back from math. And I got to get trading the stocks. And so like I've got to say, look, this is the cutoff, right? Like I got to cut yourself off. Because at the beginning, like when you're trying something new, it might be super, super exciting, but if you want to make it into sort of like a long-term habit, it's much more important that you do it consistently rather than you do it like really, really deeply, at least at the beginning, right? So, you're going to start out at whatever level you start at. You're going to get better over time. Like I'm not going to have the best emails ever on my first month. I got to kind of optimize that stuff and make it look better. But the goal, right, is to just start and to start consistently, and just do a little bit. Like it's not realistic. Remember the sales job? I'm doing like an hour of prospecting a day and going to local businesses, and like that was awesome, right? But it's not like something you can do like consistently. It's just really, really tough to try to learn like a new skill or learn something new when you're trying to spend like an hour, 2 or 3 plus a day trying to do it. So just dedicate like 10 or 15 minutes and then cut yourself off after that and just say, look, that's it. You know what? I spent my 10 minutes. I invested it. I got good progress, solid progress. And then move on to that next thing, right? And keep yourself on sort of that like, it's sort of like discipline schedule, but kind of more importantly, it's your mental pace, right? So everyone's mental pace is, radically different. And so some people, they're starting out and they're like, oh, I could go forever on this. But then they go forever on it. And then the next day they're like, oh my God, I never want to do it again. And so it's so much more important to get little chunks done, at a time, rather than like a whole bajillion things at once and then stop forever. Like when I was writing the book, right? Like it's a little different because I had to go crazy. So yeah, I don't know if you guys have ever written a book, but it's pretty damn hard. So I would spend probably like 16 hours a day, like each day on the weekend. So it'd be like 32-hour weekend. And then during the week, I'd spend like probably 6 hours a day writing. And like it was school and crap or whatever. But what was important is like I was putting in consistent action. And the length of the action didn't really matter as much as like getting up every morning and just spending 2 hours writing. That was the most important part. And that was where about 80% of the work got done, was in that 20% of time, which was like super, super powerful. So, there's your hack. Don't be dumb. Don't be silly. And focus on like that high impact, amount of time that you can use, right? And that high leverage point where you're getting stuff done. And it's the same stuff you get done at other times, where you're getting it done at a much higher efficiency and you're absolutely crushing it because of that, since you're like totally in the zone and you're 100% focused on like the exact goal and the exact objective that you want to work on, which is so powerful. And so many people, they turn to that focus. But that focus will absolutely change everything and it'll like 10x your output so freaking fast. It's absolutely berserk. And it's just awesome. So hope you guys got a ton of value from this. Go out there, apply it, absolutely crush it. And try starting something new, start a new habit. I don't freaking know. But only spend a couple minutes on it and see how it works out, because I'll tell you what, habits can absolutely change your life. I don't know what happened in the last one, just add this to the end. So I'll tell you what, habits can absolutely change your life. So yeah, speaking of habits, I'm going to go trade some stocks. So you guys have the best day ever. I will see you in the next one. Go for giant party. Woo! Bye. Thanks.
Want more stock market secrets? If so, go get your free copy of my best-selling book, 9 to Noon. You can get your free copy plus $11,176 of unannounced bonuses it took me years to uncover, completely for free at 9to-noonsecrets.com. Inside 9 to Noon, you'll find the top 38 secrets you can use to double your portfolio every 2 years and make upwards of 10% per trade daily.